Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the channel. This video is going to come out on Thursday even. And this is not a YouTube boxing type of video, but it's a battle boxing, It's by one of my favourite boxers, AJ, and also known as Anthony Joshua. And it's, can AJ regain the heavyweight throne? Now, let me tell you my opinion. Straight up, yes, he can. By beating Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk? No. And here's why, It looks like Tyson Fury will fight Alexander Usyk on the 29th of April, I think the target date is for, at Wembley. And, it'll be Saudi Arabia, but I'm pretty sure now they've confirmed it's going to be Wembley, which is absolutely massive for boxing, getting an undisputed fight here. And the reason I'm saying I think Joshua can be undisputed champion again is Tyson Fury fights Usyk, What happens in that fight is key in the heavyweight division. So, whoever wins that fight, I very much doubt they'll have 5 governing bodies. What was it? WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, IBO don't really thingy, but IBF, WBA, WBO, WBC World Heavyweight Championships. And as soon as they win that one fight, belts, I think they'll get not stripped, or they'll vacate there, because there'll be too much mandatories to make big fights happen. So you could see, like, Usyk could win, he'd be like, right, I want to defend the WBC, and then the IBF, the WBA, the WBO might say, no, well, you need to defend for, so come on. And they might say, do you know what, I'll vacate these belts, let people in the other division fight for them. I've already got the undisputed status, so maybe I can just palm them off and make some big fights out and happen. Like, Usyk might have a mandatory of, say, Hergovic, and Usyk might say, that Joe Joyce rematch from the amateurs is something quite tasty. I might just vacate that belt there and do that. And then Joe Joyce could go and beat Usyk. And then he could say, so Usyk's already vacated one belt. Say there's 3 belts with Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce could be, you know what? That Anthony Joshua fight's looking nice out. Oh, that Tyson Fury fight, I quite like that. I think I'm going to go into that if there's no rematch clause. And then the WBC might say, do you know what? Or the WBA, IBO might say, or IBF might say, well, if you want to go into that fight, you'll have to vacate this belt. And that belt could go into a random fight, and that belt could go to, like, who's there at the moment? It could go to, like, Daniel Dubois versus, like, a Dillian White or kind of fight or something. And then, they've left with 2 belts here, and they might say, well, it could be Joe Joyce could be left with 2 belts, and they say, we need to defend this one. You've got a mandatory, and I say, well, I'll give this belt, I'm keeping this belt, I'll fight AJ. That belt could go to, like, who is the Michael Hunter versus, like, a Huey Fury, that could happen. I don't think Huey Fury and that are going to get these opportunities, but that could happen. It's a very good chance the belts could vacate. Like, Fury could go and beat Usyk and say, I'm done, I'm undisputed, I've got the status. AJ's never going to fight us, or AJ could have took losses, or you never know, he could rematch Usyk again and say, I'm done, Usyk could win. Usyk could say, I'm done, I'm undisputed, I'm unbeaten, undisputed at heavyweight, undisputed at cruiserweight. See you later, boxing. Live a happy life, not much damage done, very, very rich, and he can move on to being a trainer or whatever, or just living a peaceful life with his family. But the reason why I think AJ could regain a heavyweight strap is for the simple fact that if a belt vacates, then AJ now needs to build, and he's rebuilding. He's fighting Jermaine Franklin. He beats Jermaine Franklin. He could be like 3rd, 2nd in the ranking. He might go into a fight against who's highly ranked at the moment. He could go in a hard-ish fight with maybe like a Joe Parker again, or he could go in there in a tough test against Joe Joyce, and if he comes through that fight, then he's mandatory. Or he could even, I think, if I was Eddie Hearn now, I would be looking at this path for AJ. You come through Jermaine Franklin, AJ, there's a Hergovic fight right on the, I would say, because AJ, truthfully, what way is AJ wants, he said it himself, it's about money now, but I think money and a bit of a heavyweight strap. So AJ could think, right, I beat Jermaine Franklin, Eddie Hearn wants to target that Dillian White fight for the summer. Do I truthfully believe that fight will happen? I'm 50-50 on it. I'm not quite sure. I think if the fight again, AJ will win again. Dillian hasn't really looked the same since that Fury fight. He went in against Jermaine Franklin, and he was very poor that night. It could have just been an off night, but he was very poor against Tyson Fury. And then, it's a bit weird from Dillian White at the moment. But you could say he just goes in and he smokes Dillian White. If I was Eddie Hearn, and that Fury fight's already happened, and Fury's won, and Usyk's had a rematch, or vice versa, you could be thinking, you know what? I'll put you in against Hrgovic, AJ. You win that fight, you are mandatory to fight the winner. Say Tyson Fury wins the rematch, Tyson Fury has to vacate a belt, or Tyson Fury retires or whatever, or Tyson Fury vacates a belt before AJ fights Hrgovic. I can't remember what mandatory Hrgovic is mandatory for. I think it's the IBF. Correct us if I'm wrong. But he could vacate the IBF, and then it could go to first and second, and at that time it could be like a weird one. It could be Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker, it could be Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White, or it could be a rematch of Joshua versus Hrgovic, or it could be that City Zhang. I call him City. I don't know his name. I'm being disrespectful there. Zhang. It could be Zhang versus AJ, or it could be Daniel Dubois versus AJ. You never know, and that's a beautiful thing with boxing. You just don't know what's around the corner, and that belt comes up. AJ could be like, right, Hrgovic, boom, knocks Hrgovic out, or he could be 1, Hrgovic could be 2. They'll go in the fight, and AJ knocks out Hrgovic, which I think he would do in convincing fashion. And then look, AJ's a heavyweight champion of the world again, and when AJ wins that heavyweight championship again, you'll probably be thinking, do you know what? Let's go for this strap now, and that strap could be held by Daniel Dubois, or it might give AJ the confidence. Do you know what, Tyson Fury? I see you've got 2 belts there. Let's get a massive domestic fight on. I've got my championship again. You've still got your championships. Let's get it on. That will happen. But, there's massive fights AJ could take, let's be honest. That Dillian White fight is semi-big. A massive, huge fight is Tyson Fury, of course, the biggest fight in boxing. And then also a massive fight in the United Kingdom and in the United States is AJ Wilder, a fight that should have happened. I'm very shocked that fight hasn't happened, if I'm being real with you. But these are like the risks. Like, if AJ takes another loss now, massively discredits him to the boxing fans. And people say, I think it's time for AJ to pack it up. People are saying now it's time for AJ to pack it up. It's definitely not time for AJ to pack it in now. But that's what's being said. I love AJ, When I was so happy after he beat Ruiz. And I really want him to regain his straps. And he was so unlucky against Usyk, and he could have swung his way, Usyk was probably the right winger. He had his moments in the fight. He hurt Usyk a few times. Should have jumped on the more. Could have 3 more chances. I think the AJ that went into the Klitschko fight had a better chance of beating the AJ that went into the fight against Usyk. I think the Klitschko version beats him, or could beat him, or trouble him, because it was just a massive confidence. I think AJ he lost a bit of confidence in himself. He's seen sometimes in some moments he's like, I'm hesitant, boom. And then he'll throw it like against Pulev. Should have got him out earlier. Could have got him out earlier. Then he went into the Usyk fight, gun shy, changed his trainer. Didn't really work out for him when he changed it again, because the second time he was a lot better under Robert Garcia. But Robert Garcia was telling him, you're winning these rounds, He did win a few rounds, but he didn't win every single round like Robert Garcia was thinking. And now he's got a really good new trainer under him. Well, I'm looking forward to see what AJ can do. But AJ, there's still a lot of things AJ can learn, AJ came into this sport at a relatively older age than some of these boxers right now. Like, Fury's been fighting most of his life. Usyk's been fighting for most of his life. Anthony Joshua's been boxing since he was 18 years old, 17 years old. Correct us if I'm wrong, but he has been. So there's so much potential still, and there's so much to learn. Everyone's got things to learn in boxing. You can never, ever master boxing until the day you retire and you're being a world champion and a great fighter. Like Floyd Mayweather, you'd probably say he's mastered boxing. Tyson Fury, you could, at the end of his career, undisputed or not, you could say he mastered boxing, and that's what you want to say. Like Roy Jones Jr., he mastered boxing. And there's a lot for AJ to do still in the sport. I believe there's a lot of money in the sport for AJ still. There's a lot of big fights for AJ still, and there's still world championships for AJ. Just because Tyson Fury holds 1 belt and Alexander Usyk holds 4. It doesn't mean AJ is never going to win one again, because belts get vacated like it's nothing, you know. If you look at Josh Taylor, he was the undisputed super welterweight, or was it super welterweight or junior welterweight? He was undisputed at one of them weights, and he's vacated 4 belts out of 5. And that was just to get the Jack Catterall fight back on. And now he's fighting, well, looks to be fighting Teofimo Lopez as his mandatory. So, you know what, things can happen around the corner. Like Ben Shalom said the other day, less than a week ago, I still expect Catterall to fight Taylor. Today it's coming out that Josh Taylor's nearly agreed a deal to fight Teofimo Lopez as a mandatory challenger. You know, anything can happen, guys, but I know it's an unusual video. I just thought it would be a good video to make, and it might bring some purist boxing fans to the channel. So all I'm going to say is please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next ones, guys, and have a good night.